Magandang araw sa inyong lahat.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening po sa lahat ng nakikinig po.
Hello to all our viewers from here and around the world.
Napakaganda na ating talinteman ngayong hapon ito.
Isang mainit na pagbati po sa inyong lahat.
Well, friends,
welcome to the Bridges Show.
I'm very happy to be here, and I think it should be a really interesting and fun topic.
But there are things you want to learn. So I want to take it from there and then I listen to them.
Meron silang mga mithiin upang maging makabuluhan pa ang pagiging Katoliko. Lalong-lalo na sa susunod na henerasyon.
Sa akin po, sa mga kabataan, use competence as a basis.
In real life, hindi naman talaga tayo tumitigil sa buhay. Kailangan talaga tuloy lang ang buhay kahit anong challenges natin.
Palawan, Cebu, Baguio City, Atty. Dwight, pati La Union. So we are saying that revenge travel is real.
Mas kailangan natin na i-share ang hiwaga ng siyo sa mga tao.
Food and health should go hand in hand. So yan ang gusto namin paratingin sa gobyerno.
If you will just devote your life teaching, hindi ka yayaman sa pera, pero yayaman ka sa tao.
Siyempre, ang pinakamaganda po naman sa ating universidad ay yung talagang natuturuan po tayo kung paano maging mabuting tao.
Happy anniversary to Bridges! Here at Bridges, we build bridges of faith, bridges of hope, and bridges of love.
The fourth industrial revolution is expected to create significant opportunities for businesses to increase efficiency, reduce cost, and develop new products and services. However, it is also poses a threat to the traditional jobs, requiring individuals and organizations to adapt to the changing technological landscape to remain relevant in the future, particularly in education and health. It has the potential to transform the way we live and we work, but will require a collaborative effort between institutions and individuals to ensure its effectiveness in the society. Let us explore emerging technologies, artificial intelligence, robotics, smart technologies. Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome once again to Bridges Season 3. I'm Dr. Donald Manlapas, a UST alumnus of the UST College of Rehabilitation Sciences and Graduate School, and currently I'm the chairperson of the UST CRS Physical Therapy Department. Bridges is brought to you by the UST Alumni Association Incorporated and UST Communications Bureau. This is episode 7 of Season 3, Bridges 101st episode, and it's sponsored by the UST Graduate School Alumni and Grants Association Incorporated. And of course, my co-host this afternoon is Dr. Evangeline Timbang, an alumna of the UST College of Education and Graduate School, and currently the Assistant Dean of the College of Tourism and Hospitality Management. Hi, Ma'am Banji. Hello po.
Hello, Sir Donald. Well, it's really a wonderful afternoon with a lot of interesting surprises. Very in ang topic natin ngayong hapon. And I'm so glad that I have a very young and a fellow Thomasian who is also in, when I say in, on the topic that we have for this afternoon. Nakakatuwa, Kasi ang dami ng pagbabago sa kapaligiran. At ngayon sa ating 101st edition ng ating programa ay pag-uusapan natin ang napaka-interesting at very relevant topic na ito. So actually, Dr. Donald, alam mo, sa Bridges last month, which is the month of February, ang pinag-usapan ay pag-ibig. Okay? And it's all about telling us what we need to understand and to share. Very relevant, very inspiring, very enlightening yung discussion sa pag-ibig. Kaya lang, baka mas ma-inspire pa tayo ngayon, hindi man tutukos sa pag-ibig ng puso, pero pag-ibig ng hinaharap. Because what is waiting for us in the future is something that we have all to be ready with, no? And this is going to bring us to a higher, different level of interest, no? Okay? So before we move on with our show, Let's remind our friends, don't forget to like and share our show and subscribe to our UST Thomasian alumni community on our YouTube channel.
Yes, as you mentioned po, no, it's a very interesting topic. From love, maybe let's go back how today's society now adapts to the different technologies po, no, as mentioned in our introduction. So without further ado, please allow me to introduce our guest today. So our guest is an Apple Distinguished Educator and a member of its Global Advisory Board. He graduated summa cum laude, both in master's and doctoral degree, master's in nursing and doctoral degree in development studies from Our Lady of Fatima University and the University of Santo Tomas, respectively. He is the first Asian to win the Nurse in the Limelight Innovator Award given by the Connecting Nurses in partnership with the International Council of Nurses and the Nurses Practitioner Healthcare Foundation. He has published numerous patents and papers in peer-reviewed journals on leadership, management, nursing, humanoids, robots, and constructive integration of technology in education. His current research initiatives include an exploration of the fourth industrial revolution technologies, particularly in healthcare. He is an alumnus of the Experienced Nurse Faculty Leadership Academy of Chamberlain University in Indianapolis, Indiana, from its 2018-2019 cohort. An Excellence Awardee during the University of Santo Tomas Thomasian Homecoming 2019, Agawad Vicente M. Santos Awardee for Leadership in 2019, and in that same year, Emerging Nurse Researcher of the Sigma 30th Nursing Research Congress held in Alberta, Canada. He was also awarded by the government of Bulacan as a 2019 Gintong Kabataan Golden Youth Professional Worker category as one of the 2020 Global Nurse Leadership Institute Academy Scholars of the International Council of Nurses. Just recently, he was given the prestigious recognition as a Fellow of the American Association of Nurses in Washington, D.C., USA, and a Fellow of the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland, Faculty of Nursing and Midwifery, for his global contributions to nursing practice, education, and research. Currently, Research Development and Innovation Center Director of the Our Lady of Fatima University and President of Phi Gamma Chapter Sigma Theta Tau International Honor Society in Nursing. He is pursuing his second PhD, ma'am, at the Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore, Maryland, USA. Help me welcome Professor Michael Joseph S. Diño, PhD, MAN, RN, LPT, FAAN, FFN, MR, CSI. Good afternoon, Doc. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dr. Donald. Yes, Dr. Diño, welcome to Bridges. Madadagdagan pa ng isang title, yung pangalan mo pag natapos yung second PhD. Oh my God.
Yes po. So good afternoon, Dr. Donald and Dr. Evangeline. So it's really a pleasure for me to become the 101st speaker for our Bridges. So I would like to say hi. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone, wherever you are in the world, most especially to our sponsors, Mrs. Tida Pedrosa Hernit, Prof. Evelyn Songko, the President of UST Alumni Association. Special thanks to Ma'am Ida Tionco, our Vice President and Coordinator for Bridges, Dr. Nandi Pedrosa, the President of USTGS Alumni Grants Association Incorporated, and to all our viewers for this afternoon. Mabuhay po kayo.
Wow. Dr. Diño, you are truly a Thomasian. Nakakatuwa na ikaw ang ating guest ngayong hapon. So welcome to this very famous show, Bridges. And konting throwback lang, no, Dr. Diño. So we have learned that you have come from different educational institutions. And we believe and we understand that you have imbibed some of their values and principles. However, ang nakakatuwa natin, gusto natin matuklasan, no? Ano kaya yung pinakatumatak sa'yo in your 4 years of stay at UST, which has left a, shall we say, a big mark, no, on you as a person and as a professional? Kumbaga, what are now your values in life that are holding on you or you're living up to, because you would always be proud to say, I am a Thomasian? Sige nga.
Okay, that's a really wonderful question po to start our discussion. And of course, let me share to everyone that I really value being a Thomasian. And the days that I stayed at UST are one of my most forgettable days po, no? And I think one of the things that I acquired from UST is the value of serving others, the value of improving yourself to serve others. I can clearly remember during the time when I graduated from UST, they actually emphasizes our battle cry during that time, which is light the torch and pass it on. So that particular ideology and philosophy actually was embedded in my core as a servant and as a nurse. And I continue to live by that values po until today.
Imagine, nasa screen yung picture niya na siya ay graduate. It's very good to know that you're keeping memories forever through these pictures, no? At nakakatuwang alalahanin yung mga graduation ceremonies na ito, and that the fact that you're leaving, and that you're leaving with nothing, but you're leaving with a lot of wealth, the wealth of your heart and your mind and your spirit, di ba? Na dinala mo kung saan ka man nakarating. At dahil doon, yan na naging wings mo, di ba? Imagine where you are now, you're still flying high. Ako, nakakatuwa, no? So with that, syempre, the life of a student is very serious if you take it, no, seriously. But on the other side, sabihin natin na, ano naman ang lighter side mo naman sa UST? Shall we say your happiest memory of UST?
Actually, sabi nga po dun sa local language, mahirap piliin, especially yung mga good memories when it comes to UST. So I experienced a lot of exposure during my stay at the graduate school. Of course, inside the classroom, that's really always a learning experience for me under Dr. Marcela Leus. Okay, I clearly remember my professors.
Wow.
Mga trips namin abroad and trips dun sa local just for exposure to different areas. But I think one of my most unforgettable experience would be my first weeks at UST. Kasi po, yung mga sisters ko po is the graduate of UST during their bachelor's degree, but I am not a graduate of UST during the bachelor's degree. So I said to myself that I'll be a student of UST. I'll be bearing that degree po coming from UST. So now comes PhD. Being a nurse po, wala kasing PhD in nursing during the time. Okay, so I chose UST and preferred to enroll at the PhD program in development studies. So development studies, ang concentration ko po ay education, but we have topics na may kinalaman sa environment, sa economics, and politics. During the first 2 weeks, so talaga na culture shock ako coming from a healthcare background. And I was close to giving up. During that time. So sabi ko, gusto ko lang ng degree ng UST, but sabi ko, parang hindi ko kakayanin kasi iba talaga yung lengguwahe na ginagamit sa classroom when it comes to politics coming from a health sector. So I just told myself, parang yung sinabi ni Albert Einstein na the more I learn, the more I realize how much I don't know. So I'm very lucky because I chose UST because yung culture po sa loob ng classroom is very helping. So during that time, my professors helped me to understand the different concepts related to politics. And now I am using those concepts po in the context of the healthcare sector. So I think that's my most unforgettable experiences during UST, during my first years that I'm actually acculturating to the instruction.
Ayan. Dr. Donald, narinig mo, yun na ang kanyang lightest and happiest moment.
Yes.
Paano kaya pag serious talaga siya?
I want to, yes, Ma'am Dr. Vanji, parang I want to dovetail your answer a while ago in terms of, kasi I'm a PT by profession and you're a nurse by profession, but how do you connect now, going to our main topic, how do you make those adjustments po, no? Because you know, the heart of a nurse is very important to deliver the care. But what if there's a technology that is actually superimposed with the things that you are doing? So what are your adjustments with that?
Yes, that's a very good question po. So as nurses, I do believe that we are lifelong learners. So we pursue graduate studies that are aligned to our degree. However, as nurses and healthcare providers, I do believe that we are also what we call life-wide learners as well. So we can take courses that are maybe similar or unrelated to our course. Kasi ngayon po, very common na yung tinatawag nating multidisciplinary and cross-disciplinary practice. So for me, inisip ko na lang if I'm going to acquire all of those skills and concepts, so magwa-widen yung perspective ko. No? So not only in health, but I can also use that context in other fields. And if I will combine those, so I will have a good perspective of what I'm doing, just like the projects that I'm doing right now.
So I think we can start the ball rolling.
Yes. Yes.
Manji, I think you're very excited and very interested with the topic now. So we can shoot now the first question.
Yes. Actually, the topic is with an acronym FIRE. Apoy. Talagang lumalagablab na ngayon ang topic natin. And that word FIRE stands for the Fourth Industrial Revolution. So ano ba itong FIRE na ito? At ba't sinabi siyang fourth? That means merong first, may second, and third, di ba? So this is defined as the upcoming, or it's with us actually now, no? Itong FIRE. So maybe you can give us a background of the Fourth Industrial Revolution, and why do you think, especially us in the academy, need to learn more of it?
Yes, thank you for that wonderful question po. So actually, ang Fourth Industrial Revolution, ito po yung era na kung saan merong mabilis na progreso when it comes to technology. Okay, na-experience po natin. Examples po ng mga technology na to ay robotics, yung AI na tinatawag, or artificial intelligence, especially now na talagang sikat na sikat because of the ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Okay. Dito din po pumapasok yung tinatawag nating mga virtual reality, augmented reality, Internet of Things. So, kumbaga, kung ipapasimplify pa natin siya further, it refers to the blurring of boundaries between physical, biological, and virtual world. So, for example, we might be physically inside the classroom or inside our homes, but we are also virtually present in other dimensions. Just like, for example, kung tayo ay nagbabrowse ng ating social networking site, we are also in the virtual world. So, bakit siya tinawag na Fourth Industrial Revolution or FIRE or 4IR? Kasi po, based from our history, we experienced drastic changes several times. So during the first, yung tinatawag nating mechanization, nung na-imbento po yung tinatawag nating steam engine, so dyan po nagkaroon ng malakas or malaking progreso yung mundo because of yung transport ng mga products from one place to another. So yung second naman po is yung na-imbento yung electricity. Then right now, we are in what we call the Third Industrial Revolution, wherein sa almost all processes natin, we involve computers. And we are gradually or drastically entering what we call the Fourth Industrial Revolution, yung tinatawag nating pong cyber-physical system, wherein we can be in several places in different dimensions, and there's a rapid advancement yung tinatawag po nating technology.
Wow, that's a good overview, no?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, a good overview of this one, no? Para pong right now parang there's yung mga examples natin ng mga opportunities po for the technology that can be used not just in education but in healthcare system. But right now, naisip ko po, since meron tayong mga viewers, different fields, no? Baka merong fear. There's a fear na baka pwede silang palitan. Yes, the future is here, but maybe there's also fear. So my next question is, why it matters? Can you give us its origin and impact to us right now?
Yes, that's a good question po again, no? So, for me, it really matters yung naalamin po natin kung ano yung mga impending na challenges when it comes to the Fourth Industrial Revolution kasi doon po tayo patungo. Sabi nga po ng aking mga parents is the best way to prepare for the future would be now. So, para if in case i-set po natin yung mga polisiya or standards na pwede nating, of course, ma-encounter in the near future para maging handa na tayo dun sa darating na Fourth Industrial Revolution. Kasi ang Fourth Industrial Revolution po, it will affect different aspects of the society. And for me, it's very important na i-preserve natin yung tinatawag nating humanistic, of course, yung ating kultura, para hindi po tayo, of course, sabi nga nila, mo-overcome yung tinatawag po nating technology. Kasi sa Fourth Industrial Revolution, meron tayong tinatawag na technological singularity. So pag sinabi nating technological singularity, ito yung hypothesis na nagsasabi na there will come a time na yung ability ng humans pwede ang maungusan ng tinatawag nating technology. Pero ako po, bilang isang researcher at isang educator, naniniwala po ako na walang technology na makakapagpalit ng, of course, ng mga human workers, ng ating mga teachers and ating mga healthcare providers, kasi meron tayong tinatawag na TLC or Tender Loving Care. So the challenge now po would be to become adept sa tinatawag nating teknolohiya, and at the same time, i-maintain po natin yung ating values as humans. Sabi nga nila, in technology, don't forget your humanity.
It's a good thing to know that po, no? But I think also the wisdom that we have also, I think, cannot be replaced by any technology. To dovetail that again and connect that to another question po as a follow-up, based on your statement po, how can it be parang catered po within the range of ages? What I mean is that pwede rin po ba to sa mga bata, sa mga nag-aaral, or dun sa ating mga older adults po, no? We don't want to call them elderly, no? Yung may mga dual citizen, sorry. Ating mga seasoned educators po, no? How can they adapt? And is this technology flexible for everyone po?
Yes po, okay. So another very good question. So since the start of my career, nag-engage po ako doon sa mga studies or research na may kinalaman sa technology. So I started with my telehealth program para sa older adults. Ito po actually yung dissertation ko sa USTJS, yung about telehealth technology sa mga older adults. And I'm very happy kasi ito po ay na-recognize internationally ng International Council of Nurses during that time as one of the most innovative community health programs. So doon po sa aking pag-aaral at doon sa pag-work ko po kasama po ang ating mga older adults, so napatunayan ko po na yung technology hindi lang siya para sa bata. Kasi especially nowadays, di ba? So sinasabi natin na mas magagaling ang mga bata ngayon when it comes to technology. Some students are better than their teacher in terms of manipulating technology. Pero technology po can be applied in all ages o yung tinatawag po nating stages of life, or yung tinatawag po nating mga generations. And napatunayan ko po yan. If we're going just to provide adequate, of course, training and empowerment sa ating mga older adults, so pwede rin po silang maging equally competent when it comes to technology. So just like right now, meron po akong programa na ginagawa ngayon sa komunidad po sa Valenzuela. Ang tawag po natin dito ay Hataw at Sigla para kay Lolo at Lola.
Sa amin yan.
Yes. Opo. At ito po ay, ang vision ko po dito would be the team would develop a software that can project yung tinatawag po nating virtual coach. Kasi nung COVID-19 pandemic, medyo bumaba po ang activity ng ating mga older adults. And in the field of education naman po, especially sa mga bata, pwede po natin gamitin yung mga technologies under the Fourth Industrial Revolution para ma-enhance yung tinatawag nating virtual learning. Kasi di ba po, nagkaroon ng COVID-19 pandemic, so nagkaroon tayo ng problema when it comes to physical interaction, yung laboratory, hindi na natin siya ma-access. So using augmented reality, which is part of the Fourth Industrial Revolution, so pwede nating dalhin yung some of the things na pinapakita natin sa laboratory, just like for example, yung human body, yung different elements, at yan po yung ginagawa natin ngayon. So just recently, one of our projects was approved for funding by the Department of Science and Technology. So ang tawag ko po dito ay Marvel. So Marvel refers to multiple applications for reality virtuality experience. So ito po ay nagkaroon ng MOU with the Department of Science and Technology at noong February 21. So we inaugurated at binless na po namin yung facility na to. So yung facility na to po is ang objective nito is mag-develop ng mga educational materials, mag-develop ng virtual assets na magagamit in different parts of the industry. So, ang pinakaunang proyekto po nito would be sa educational sector wherein mag-develop ng mga virtual assets na pwedeng ipakita natin sa mga estudyante regardless kung nasaan sila using that yung tinatawag nating head-mounted device. So, ito po yung sample ng head-mounted device, no? So, ito yung tinatawag nating mixed reality device wherein kapag suit-suit po yan ng ating mga estudyante, so nakikita niya yung paligid niya. But in addition, so maaring may lumabas na mga virtual patient o kaya virtual anatomy or isang scenario na kung saan magtuturo sa kanila ng mga konsepto about their profession.
Oh, Ma'am Van.
Oh yeah, very interesting.
Kaya bang suotin?
Naku, kaya pa namin yan.
Kaya po
yan. Kasi we want to be part of the revolution, syempre. No, follow up ko lang doon sa pinag-uusapan kanina tungkol sa fire, no? Sa Fourth Industrial Revolution. There were studies that mentioned na may similarities daw ang Fourth Industrial Revolution tsaka yung 5 ages of civilization. So, nandun na tayo ngayon sa tinatawag nating information worker age tsaka emerging age of wisdom. So in other words, dito sa fourth industrial age, namamotivate na ngayon ang knowledge worker para ma-release yung kanilang human potential. So there are leading researchers that are arguing that fire or fourth industrial revolution will shape the future through its impact on government and business in particular. So would you like to expand on that? Bakit magkakaroon ng impact sa government and business ang fourth industrial revolution?
Okay. Magandang tanong po yan, ano? Actually, almost all facets of life natin ngayon would be affected by what we call the fourth industrial revolution, including the technologies na kaakibat po nito, no? Kung makikita po natin yung mga resulta ng mga pananaliksik or mga research, so sinasabi po doon na, for example, in the business sector, almost 1/3 ng mga business sector will be engaging in AR and VR technologies in the next 10 years. So in terms of and kapag nabago po yung ating proseso when it comes to business and other aspect ng human life, including social, education, or healthcare practice, and in other fields as well, so it might impact the policy na pwede po natin gawin sa ating mga, of course, gobyerno. And nandun na rin po yung tinatawag nating battle with technology. How can we make, of course, our services more humane? So how can we make our services in line with what we are expected, no? Kasi just like, for example po, in the terms of the healthcare sector, so natatakot sila na baka magkaroon ng ng pagbaba ng demand when it comes to dun sa mga nurses. Pero dun po sa maraming research na nagawa ko about informatics sa nursing at saka sa healthcare sector, lahat po yun nag-agree sila that nothing can replace yung tinatawag nating human touch of caring. However, ako po naniniwala na, for example, in the context of nursing, a good nurse cannot be replaced by a good technology. However, a bad nurse can be replaced by a good technology. Just like teachers. Nothing can replace a good teacher. No technology can replace a good teacher. However, a bad teacher can be replaced by a good technology. Lalo na po ngayon, di ba? Meron tayong naririnig na YouTube University. So by merely watching at the YouTube, pwede po tayong matuto, no? Just like me, nung nasa Baltimore po ako, na-miss ko ang mga Filipino foods. So ang ginawa ko, manonood lang po ako kay Chef RV, tapos naluluto ko na yung mga Filipino foods using that local ingredients. So the challenge now for our workers and the environment is how are we going to make these policies more humane? How can we make standards that are aligned with more humanistic approach? And for us workers, how can we differentiate ourselves from those technologies?
Ayan. Kaya actually my next question na nasabi mo na, yung mga emerging technologies, no? So what do you think would be most acceptable sa atin kasi we're just getting ready for it, we're just preparing ourselves for it. So ano ba 'tong mga emerging technologies na ito?
Actually, when it comes to fourth industrial revolution technologies, marami po yan. Ano? So for example po, yung stay ko sa Baltimore, Maryland, marami po ako nakita sa first world country na sa tingin ko ay pwede rin nating i-apply kahit sa developing countries such as the Philippines. For example, during our classes, gumagamit po kami ng virtual reality para matest yung aming skills on how are we going to communicate with our patients. Then doon naman po sa aking workplace sa Our Lady of Fatima University, so meron na kaming tinatawag na yung mga flexible learning using advanced sensors and technology para maidala namin yung laboratory doon sa comfort ng homes ng ating mga estudyante. And previously, I have engaged with a lot of researchers po sa Tokushima University in Japan. And in Japan po, in-explore po namin kung paano magagamit ang robotics para makatulong at mag-complement dun sa care na binibigay po ng ating mga healthcare providers. Just like what you are seeing right now, I'm actually conversing with the robots because robots can understand. And during the time, I'm really prolific po when it comes to Nihongo. Kaya nakakausap ko pa yung robot. And beyond healthcare and education, actually kasama na natin ng mga robots ngayon. Just like this one, yung sa Jollibee, ginagamit na to para mag-serve ng pagkain doon sa table ng ating mga clients at sa mga airport para malinis, maging malinis yung paligid without having yung tinatawag nating mga live humans na naglilinis po doon. So, just like in Japan also, sa mga restaurant po doon at sa mga tourist spots, you can get information from the robots such as this one.
O receptionist pa siya, oh.
Yes po, receptionist at pwede nyo po kayong mag-order pa. And meron din po tayong tinatawag ngayon na yung metaversity, wherein ang students may option sila na umattend ng in-person classes o kaya naman po ay pumasok sa Twin University, yung tinatawag po nating metaversity.
Oh my God, so many interesting developments and facts. Just reminded me of my experience with the robot in Vietnam serving me food. Nakakatuwa, no? Well, let's all stay because there'll be more of this after this short break.
Stay tuned.
Nakakatuwa ang ating discussion.
Alright, we're back. Sobra kayo ng first part po natin. No? So there's a lot of interesting specific topics related to the fourth industrial revolution. No? So we talk about the real content and the real environment of that specific technology, a different aspect. No? We talk also about research, and at the same time, I like the discussion about policy making, because this will actually inform, no? So I like the advocacies of Dr. Michael po regarding parang embedding the technology at different levels po, no? But I think it's nice also to hear from our audience. For sure, malaki ang coverage ng ating mga viewers natin, no? Kasi about health po, no, Ma'am Vange, no?
Yes.
Any ordinary individual can also listen and learn from this episode po, no? But there's one question here po, no? So, does Education 4.0 differ from that of Education 5.0, which is rehumanizing education in the age of machines?
Okay, so that's a very good question. I think this is coming from Dean Glenn po, no? Actually, when it comes to Industry 4.0, ito po kasi yung sa history, no? Yung different era ng changes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. However, that is very much different in education. In education field, meron po tayong tinatawag na stages of educational revolutions. So that is started po from 1 to 5 na po ngayon, and meron na pong impending na 6. So that is actually fairly similar. If you're going to put that in parallel, so medyo similar po, because the Industry 4.0 talks about advanced technology, and Education 5.0 talks about how are we going to make education more humanized when it comes to our students. So meaning, how can we foster engagement ng students? How can we foster interaction? Because students are now really relying to what we call gadgets. So mas focus na sila in front of the computer instead of focusing po dun sa tinatawag nating interpersonal interaction that might enhance their social skills po, which is a life skill.
All right. I think that summarizes actually the first part, no, in connecting the difference between two age po, no, era. Ma'am Banj, since we're talking about education, what do you think will be an interesting question also to ask Dr. Diño?
Yes, the challenge to educators, ayan na. Because of this fire or fourth industrial revolution, mayroon ngayong mga pagbabago, changes, and even in educational institutions like ours, we are challenged to do something. We are challenged to be in, di ba, sabi natin. So this will somehow have an impact on the way we teach, on our methodology, and we would have to revisit maybe even the course offered or even our curriculum, no? Sabi nga, mga teaching, learning strategies. So what do you think, Doctor, would be the best way to be able to cope with these changes brought about by fourth industrial revolution as educators?
Okay, that's a wonderful question po. So for me, isa sa mga pinopromote ko po ngayon, especially when I talk to educators po through PACU, through PACU-COA, and some of the educational organizations po sa Philippines, that in the light of this technological advancement, we as teachers have the responsibility to make our students engage in the instruction.
Yes.
Kasi for example po, di ba ngayon meron na tayong tinatawag na synchronous at asynchronous learning, wherein you can just record your video, upload it, and meron din tayong tinatawag na synchronous learning, wherein we're going to log in at the same time, just example here on Zoom. Then we interact with of course our students. Our virtual students, as we call it, and during the pandemic, I call it the front learners, not only frontliners, but front learners. So as teachers, we have the responsibility to make them more engaged, because they need to feel na kahit virtual yung instruction, there's actually a human being, a teacher, that is collaborating with them, coordinating with them, and behind, of course, this what we call technology. So during that time, meron po akong formula na pinresent, no, na para how can we make our students more engaged in virtual learning utilizing technology. So ginamit ko po yung konsepto na nakuha ko sa healthcare sector, yung tinatawag na kaput, core, and manus. So pag sinabi pong kaput, it's the mind. Pag sinabing core, it's the heart. And of course, kapag sinabing manus, alam po ni Sir Donald yan, that is of course the hand. So yun po yung tatlo na dapat nating stimulate sa ating mga estudyante para ma-enhance yung tinatawag nating engagement amidst all of this technological advancement. So unang-una po is the mind. The students are here because they want to learn from us. So we need to update our know-how of our field. We need to be updated kasi we cannot keep what we don't have. We need to update all of these concepts. And yung isa po is yung skill. Although virtual po yan, we can also foster skills training even at a distance. Kailangan active ang estudyante. Kaya we provide them with activities na wherein mapapractice nila yung mga skills na yon. So sabi nga nila, teach me, I might forget. Show me, I might remember. Involve me, I understand. Magiging konkreto po yung learning kapag meron tayong activities online. And lastly, yung pinaka-importante is of course the heart. And it refers to the affect of the students. We need to empower them. We need to, of course, provide our tender, loving care, even in teaching our students. We need to show our concern to our students that, hey, we're here educators, even if we are virtual, we are not in the same place. There's a human being supporting you, and we are here to facilitate your learning process.
It's nice. So, ang galing ng pagka-connect po, no? The mind, the heart, and the hand po, no?
Yes, correct,
But
correct.
ako naman po, Ma'am Vange, parang I was thinking, so we have the technology, no? But what do you think will be the challenges also of the parents? For sure, there are parents who are listening. So I think my question will fall on what are their responsibilities? For definitely po, pag pinasok nila ang bata sa eskwelahan, there's also a responsibility from us. And then we're giving them the most updated technology, the learnings that they need to know right now. But what are the responsibilities of the parents? Since sila nagbabayad ng tuition fee, no?
Yes, that's really a very practical question, and I really appreciate that po, no? So, I think my response for that would be, pagdating sa technology, meron po tayong tinatawag na pros and cons. And sabi nga nila, everything that is as too much is bad. And I think that is also related to what we call the use of technology. So for me po, for example, sa bahay or sa usually dapat hindi natin binababad yung mga estudyante sa purely technology kasi there are several life skills na kailangan nilang matutunan. Kailangan nila makipag-coordinate sa kapwa nila bata or kapwa nila estudyante just to foster that what we call social skills. So for me, for the parents po, it's very important that we give our students a pause doon sa paggamit ng technology. So sa bahay po namin, ang tawag dito ay digital detox. Okay, digital detox. So meaning yung kapag Saturday or Sunday, so dapat ang mga gadgets nakalagay yan sa isang bag, so hindi yan gagamitin para magbigay ng panahon para sa estudyante na magawa po nila, no? Yung mga, of course, interpersonal interactions dun sa ibang bata o sa ibang family member. So sa technology po ngayon, meron tayong tinatawag ng mga restrictions. It's very important for the parents to monitor the activities of their child online kasi research shows na yung exposure ng bata and even adults sa social media, it will really affect your emotions po because there's constant comparison with other people or with the environment, of course, around you. And number 3, pinaka-importante, that our parents should provide counsel. Counsel dun sa ating mga estudyante kasi ang online world po hindi naman natin masasabi na 100% safe yan. So whatever na magkaroon ng regrettable experiences yung mga estudyante, so it's very important for us parents, of course, to provide counsel to our students and to hone that interpersonal skills for our sons and daughters po. Thank you.
Parang ano po, Ma'am Vange, is the soft skills, no? The communication.
Yes, we cannot do away with the soft skills.
Yes,
it's part of our human development.
Yes.
Especially for Filipinos known for being very hospitable. Ang hirap naman na, ma-compare tayo sa mga robots, di ba? Although technically, we cannot do away with the robots around us. Kasi ang meaning naman ng presence of robot is to make life better. Not to replace human beings, di ba? So, yung mga minention mo, Dr. Diño kanina, yung ba part of the scary things that we have to be ready with pagdating sa paggamit ng technology? Kasi siyempre kung merong advantages, meron ding,
disadvantages.
Yeah, yung opposite side of it. So what do you think?
Yes po, yung mga pinakita ko pong technologies kanina, these are some of the most common examples that we have right now. But in the future, there will be more technologies na pwede maka-apekto sa atin, which is of course under the 4th Industrial Revolution. And of course, it's a good thing na marami na pong research na nagawa para mag-prepare po talaga tayo doon sa tinatawag natin na 4th Industrial Revolution. And I agree na hindi po talaga mare-replace ng technology yung tao. And according to a lot of research, these are only complement to what we do. and nothing can replace yung human side of caring and human side intervention natin doon sa ating of course mga industries.
Thank you.
So wala tayong choice ngayon kundi as teachers, no, educators, to go with the trend. O kanina nga before the show nag-uusap tayo baka tayo palitan na, baka ma-out na tayo, di ba? Okay. But we'll be connected, globally connected because of internet, di ba? It's so easy to talk with our relatives abroad already. It's easy to buy things. Siguro meron tinatawag tayong positive points din na binigay sa atin ng pandemic eh. Nakapasok ng maigi si technology because of the pandemic. We don't know, is it a God-given way of accepting the changes that will happen to our lives? Maybe. So, na-accept na natin technology. Inong araw, ayaw natin ng computer sa klase. Although nandiyan na sa UST ang computer, matagal na. Pero parang may reluctance tayo. But biglang nung mag-pandemic, in-embrace natin, di ba? And we have no choice. And now, naku, eto na. Pag sinabi ng face-to-face, ayaw na ng mga teacher. Gusto na nila, nandun na sila sa kanilang work from home mode. Kasi naging comfortable na, di ba? So ngayon, bine-blend naman natin ngayon yung working from home and then going back face-to-face. So, well, sabi nga, change is coming. Get ready.
Yes po, no? Doc is actually showing virtual reality and augmented reality, no? And being a healthcare practitioner and researcher and educator, paano kung i-remove ko yon? And my question is parang ako, ordinary individual, tas meron akong condition. So, paano po maaalis to na pupunta ako ng hospital, maalis yung fear na kaya ba ng technology talaga or I need to have a doctor para po makausap bago gamitin tong mga technologies po na to?
Okay, so isa po sa mga importanteng of course na natutunan po natin when it comes to the healthcare sector would be yung importance ng orientation and establishing rapport with the patient. Okay, so I think nag-link po yung answer ko doon sa na-discover ko on my work with the older adults nung 2012 to 2016 po, no, na it's not advisable for us to just use technology, but it's important especially for our patients to have an orientation of the technology first and to establish rapport with our patients. That's the reason why hindi mo kailangang ibigay agad ng telehealth technology sa mga older adults. You need to provide proper training and intervention. Kaya yung project ko po noon, tinawag siya na Healthy na Techie Pasi na Lo at La. Because that is really essential. Before you expose a person to a certain technology or use ng technology, may it be in the healthcare sector, education, or other places, it's very important that you establish rapport and you provide orientation on what this technology are really for, no? Sa mga nurses po, especially kami, kapag mag-undergo ng procedure yung mga pasyente, so we provide information and that alleviates yung mga anxiety nila before they undergo the procedure. Kasi minsan nga naman, very intimidating, pagpasok sa ospital, ang laki ng mga machines, MRI, etc. So by providing proper orientation and answering their doubts and questions about a certain procedure, so bumababa po yung anxiety level at mas nagiging cooperative yung ating mga healthcare providers.
Yes. Okay. So nabanggit niyo po yung healthcare providers po and the patient of course in that specific scenario. For sure yung technology is very promising, no? And then may enjoyment, may motivation po, like you mentioned about the exercises, no? But aside from those things po, na-mention ni Ma'am Vanjina, embracing the technology. So what are your advice po, no, for us other healthcare professionals that is a bit hesitant pa po with this kind of technology, given that maybe they're trained earlier than us, wala pa pong technology doon. What can you advise them with regards to this advancements?
Okay, so I think the answer po lies doon sa tinatawag nating mga leaders and managers on a specific area. Malaki po magagawa ng ating mga leaders doon sa mga establishments na to para mas ma-embrace ng ating mga teachers or ma-embrace ng ating mga healthcare workers yung tinatawag nating technology. So ako po, isa sa mga ginagamit kong approach yung tinatawag nating desensitization. So desensitization, ito po yung exposure ng isang tao sa mga bagay na frightening sa kanila or that cause them anxiety. So gradually po, ini-introduce nyo yung technology sa kanila hanggang dumating yung panahon na they cannot live na walang technology kasi napamahal na sa kanila yung technology. Diba? So, and another po, yung sinasabi ng mga theory ngayon, no? Yung mga teorya ngayon when it comes to technology adoption, na maraming mga factors yung pwede maka-apekto dun sa paggamit ng isang tao ng technology. Number one is yung ease of use, or in Tagalog, yung tinatawag nating user-friendliness ng technology. Kasi kapag complicated ang technology, so hindi niya gagamitin kasi it complicates the things, which is actually different from the objective talaga ng technology na makatulong. So yan po yung ginagawa ngayon ng mga researchers, ano. So nag-perform sila ng mga pananaliksik na related para mas maging usable yung technology, mas human-like. Or in technical terms, sinatawag natin yan na human-centered design. So ang ginagawa nila, ini-involve na nila yung mga end users doon pa lang sa development ng technology para at the end, mas fitted sa kanila at mas madali pong gamitin. Number two, we need to provide an environment that is conducive for the use of technology. They cannot use what they don't have. So initially, syempre, kailangan natin ng infrastructure, kailangan mag-provide kung gusto natin gumamit ang ating mga teachers ng iPad or ng tablet, so kailangan mag-provide tayo ng tablet sa kanila. And kailangan din nating i-empower yung skills nila. We need to make them competent in using the technologies by providing them adequate training and develop that culture that using this system will actually is my job, and meron tong mga positive rewards na mas mataas ang mga rewards kaysa na dun sa effort na ibibigay natin doon sa technology. So I'm very thankful doon sa UST because during our time, these theories are presented to us. And kapag sinabi nating theory, parang ang hirap intindihin. Pero ngayon, nare-realize ko na ito palang theory na to talagang applicable talaga, even dun sa practical applications, being a leader, a researcher, or an educator.
So really from theory to practice. So that's I think you're talking about the technological acceptance model, no? Wherein, yun po, no? Para yung insert ko po na question, is about the behavior, no? Kasi, yes, nandun po yung sinabi niyo ease of use, and at the same time, the environment. How about the behavior? So the behavior of the user, and of course, the receiver of that technology, which are our patients po, no? So, how can we empower the behavior so that we can utilize and maximize the good use of this technology?
Okay, so that's also a good question. So in addition to technology acceptance model or TAM, meron tayong tinatawag ngayon na UTAUT or Universal Theory of Acceptance and Use of Technology. So mas comprehensive siya kasi mas marami siyang factor. So when it comes to the behavior, so ang sabi dun sa theory na yon, that behavioral intention is actually connected to what we call, of course, actual use. So ang tanong ngayon, paano natin ma-enhance yung behavior? So one of the good things na pwede nating implement is yung pagtawag natin, yung pagbibigay natin ng reward or positive reinforcement whenever technology is being used for the better. So it's very important that for us, we give them rewards, okay, whenever they achieve something with technology. And we need to provide the pros and cons of technology so that they will not be, be at the center of two pulling forces po when it comes to the use of technology. So rewards is very much important kapag merong positive action or behavior with the use of technology. So we can provide rewards just to encourage and empower those technology users.
Ma'am Vange, ang dami kong take-home message na. So, I think for now po,
Naku, alam mo ba, we're almost, go ahead.
Yes po, go ahead.
Napakadami natin gusto pang tanungin. There's still a lot of things we want to know, but the time is so limited. We're nearing our end. So before we officially end the program, Dr. Diño, before your final words to our viewers, what touches your heart most and gives you satisfaction with what you do? Because you're engaged with so many things na nakaka-touch ng puso. Ano ba yun?
Thank you very much, ma'am, for that Miss Universe question. Okay, so just like what I mentioned for earlier, I stayed in Japan for quite some time. No, I was
Okay.
acculturated in the place, so I have learned to speak Nihongo. So part po nun, na-imbibe ko din yung some parts of their cultures, yung mga values nila. And isa po sa mga hindi ko makakalimutan is dalawang concept. Number one is yung Ichigo Ichie. Sa Ichigo Ichie means once in a lifetime. Na according to the Japanese, lahat ng pagkakataon ay once in a lifetime.
Okay.
So if you know or if you set that on your mind that everything's a once in a lifetime, you will maximize that time.
Okay.
No regrets.
Yes, yes.
And the
Make the
other
most.
one, yes po, and the other one po is yung tinatawag nating ikigai. So ikigai means your reason for being. Sa Tagalog po, ito yung sinasabi ng commercial na para kanino ka bumabangon.
Ayan.
What is your purpose? As a person, as a professional, as a servant, as a student, as an alumnus of the UST, University of Santo Tomas. So yun po, it's very important that you look into yourself, you need to reflect on it, and see your primary purpose on why you are existing. So yun po, may mga questions dyan na dapat mong sagutin para ma-find mo yung ikigai mo. So I think with my...
Ichige?
Ikigai.
The first one is Ichigo Ichie, and the second
Ichigo
one is
Ichie.
Ikigai. So I'm very fortunate kasi ang UST provided me with the competency and skills, and even Our Lady of Fatima University, yung combination po ng training ko for both Fatima and UST provided me with the necessary skills just to, for example, explore the world, learn from it, and give back to other people. And I think that's my ikigai, or the reason for it.
And siguro naman ang version natin, Dr. Donald, ang version natin. Kung meron tayong 3 C's sa university. Ano nga yun, Sir Donald, yung 3 C's?
Yung competent, compassion, and committed. So,
Yes, so meron tayong core values at meron tayong PILOS, Program Intended Learning Outcome. Ayan. Si Sir na ang ating best intended learning outcome. Siya na yung outcome ng pag-iisang Thomasino. And we're so proud of you. Okay, at this time, Mr. Donald, maybe we can share with them our key takeaways.
Yes po, no. So for me, there's a lot of things that we've discussed this afternoon, and magsi 6 o'clock na, no. Pero I think in a nutshell, it's all, at the end of the day, it's all about putting our heart, our mind, and our hands in everything that we do in terms of technology. I think the best example of what we've talked about is that let's create something that will work to us, no? Create technology that will work for us and with us. Kasi dapat po laging magkasama. And with the level of the content that we have about the Industrial Revolution, the Fourth Industrial Revolution, and at the same time branching to research, academe, health policies, and healthcare system, I think at the end of the day, it's still our decision. So, yun po.
So, thank
Very
you.
good.
Thank you so much, Dr. Michael Joseph Diño. We're so happy to listen to your words of wisdom about the challenges and opportunities of the Fourth Industrial Revolution, and opening door for opportunities for us, and accepting and embracing the challenges to come. This is a very rare opportunity to have a fellow Thomasian talk about something that is happening or soon to happen to us, and it's preparing all of us. So, salamat po muli sa inyo at sa mga nakinig at nanood sa atin. But before we end, we have a very few announcements here. So we have our prayers for the success of all our Thomasians who will be taking off their Medical Technology Licensure Examination, or MTLE, on March 8 and 9, 2023. We also would like to offer blessing prayers to those taking the Pharmacy Licensure Examination on April 10 and 11. And we'd like to remind that the deadline for submission will be on March 13, 2023. Okay, Sir Donald?
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our USTAAI TAC YouTube channel at www.youtube.com
facebook.com/USTAAITAC, and please follow us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/USTAAI. For sure, there's a lot of shout outs for Doc MJ, Dr. Diño, and of course for those who are listening.
Yes. So on behalf of UST Graduate School Alumni and Grants Association Incorporated, through its president, Dr. Fernando Pedrosa, would like to thank the USTAAI academics, specifically Team Bridges, for giving us the opportunity to sponsor this episode of Bridges. Thank you too to the sponsor of our episode today, Mrs. Nilda Pedrosa Arnit, the former counselor of Palo Leyte. Again, friends, please don't forget to like and share our show and subscribe to our UST Thomasian Alumni Community YouTube channel. Here at Bridges, we build bridges of people, bridges of knowledge, and new learnings.
Friends, thank you for tuning in. Again, thank you, Dr. Diño. Join us again next Tuesday for another episode of Bridges entitled Women Leading the Workplace with Cara. Very interesting also. With our guest, Dr. Giselle Barion. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Mabuhay po tayong lahat. Mabuhay ang mga Thomasino.
Thank you.
Thank you.